Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in tonight. This is EmoNews every moment online. In tonight's headlines, PM Skerrit attends CELAC EU Summit in Colombia. St. Lucians to go to the polls on December 1st, 2025. Dominic crew heads to Jamaica for hurricane recovery efforts. The ECVA Under 23 Men's Volleyball Championship is set to go in Antigua, and Dominica's senior men's national football team will take part in the inaugural CONCACAF Friendly Series in St. Kitts this week. More stories coming up next. Stay tuned. And welcome back, everyone. I'm your presenter, Rick Francis, and this is a news broadcast for the 11th of November, 2025. Let's take a look at local news this evening. Prime Minister Honorable Rupert Skerrit is attending the CELAC EU Summit, the Caribbean EU leaders meeting taking place in Santa Marta, Colombia. The high-level meeting brings together heads of state and government from Latin America, the Caribbean, and the European Union to strengthen dialogue and cooperation among regions. Participants include leaders of CARICOM, the Secretary General of CARICOM, and representatives from the Dominican Republic and Cuba. Also in attendance are the President of the European Council, the President of the European Commission, the EU High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, and the rotating presidency of the European Union. The President of Colombia will preside as host of the CELAC EU Summit. The discussions in Santa Marta are expected to focus on shared priorities, including sustainable development, climate resilience, trade, and global cooperation. During Prime Minister Skerrit's absence, the Honorable Cassani Laville, Minister for Health, Wellness, and Social Services, is serving as acting Prime Minister. The Dominica Electricity Services Limited, DOMLEC, has deployed a 5-member team to Jamaica to assist with recovery efforts following the passage of Hurricane Melissa. The team will serve on the island for 1 month as part of the Caribbean Disaster Assistance Program, CDAP, which mobilizes regional utilities to support each other in times of crisis. DOMLEC's General Manager, Mr. Dwayne Senag, announced that 5 staff members departed for Jamaica to assist with recovery efforts following the devastation caused by Category 5 Hurricane Melissa.
Today, November 10th, Dominic is happy to announce that a team of 5 left Dominica and arrived in Jamaica this afternoon to support the restoration efforts of our sister utility, GPS. As we know, Jamaica has been devastated following the passage of Hurricane Melissa. And so, as part of the CARILEC Disaster Assistance Program, DOMLEC are committed to supporting the restoration activity over there. Multiple utilities within the CARILEC organization have agreed to provide support, and a number of linesmen will meet over there to collaborate in supporting our sister utility fast track their restoration process. So we at DOMLEC were very happy that the 5-member team comprising of 4 linesmen, 1 supervisor volunteered. That the efforts will obviously be welcome it's something we're very proud of here at Dominic, that we can provide that support to the people of Jamaica. It's always a welcome sight to see linesmen coming into your community following a disaster, and being able to flip that switch and get back to some level of normalcy. So we're happy that we can be part of that restoration effort over in Jamaica. As we know, our region is faced with hurricanes each year, and from time to time you would have a pretty devastating hurricane passing through one of our islands. And this is basically how the Carolec Disaster Assistance Program came about, to essentially have utilities provide support to each other, right? In 2017, Dominica, Dominic specifically would have received support from multiple utilities across the region. Likewise, last year, following the passage of Hurricane Beryl in Grenada, multiple islands, including Dominic, or multiple utilities rather, would have provided support to Grenada. This year, unfortunately, again, we had another devastating hurricane, and so it's our turn to provide support again. And this is just part of the collaboration, and so between the utilities of the Caribbean, and one way in which we collaborate and support each other.
The team members are Julie Paul, team leader, Earl Matthew, lineman A, Wilbert Moyes, lineman B, Isaiah Phillip, lineman B, and Dylan John Baptist, lineman B. Dominic extends best wishes to the team for safe travels and success in their mission. The company also joins the nation in praying for their safety as they work alongside other regional utilities to help restore power and rebuild infrastructure on our sister island, Jamaica. Also in local news this evening, the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, ICCA, officially launched the Caribbean Climate Responsive Agriculture Forum, CCRAF, on Monday at the Dominica China Agriculture Science Complex at 1 Mile, Portsmouth. As a component of the project, which aims to advance knowledge sharing and actionable resilient practices, a mobile seed bank project, CCRAF, on the road will be established. During the week, students will be engaged as CCRAF seeks to target young persons to educate them on all things agriculture. At the official launch, remarks were given by Nikhila Gregoire, CIRI Technical Specialist in Water and Soil Management and CCRAF Coordinator.
So the CCRAF born basically out of that need for agriculture information to be shared, because we know we have a lot of persons in this sector within the region doing their own thing in their little corner, and it's working, or we went through a process to find the solution, but it stopped there. And so the CCRAF was born out of that as a mechanism to share the agricultural knowledge, the technology that exists in our region that is working for us. Because most of the time when you go online, you find things from America, Asia, everywhere, and it does not always, transcribe to what we actually need on the ground. And so that is what the CCRAF was born out. What are our own solutions that our farmers are coming up with, our youth are coming up with? And so that was the intention of the CCRAF.
2 women in agriculture were also honored at the official launch on CRAF on the road. Dawn Francis of EcoBalance and the Central Agriculture Region Farmers Group was recognized as the IICA leader of virality, and Francine Paris Frederick was recognized as a long-standing CCRAF member. And that's all for local news this evening. Stay tuned for regional news coming up next.
We're at the different phases in life. We move at a different pace. When the baby's coming, business needs revamping. The new job's starting, and you need an outfit. Let momentum hook you up. My momentum will hook you up. The wedding's planning, rent due dates coming. Momentum is your support financing. Let momentum hook you up. Momentum will hook you up.
In regional news this evening, Prime Minister Philippe J. Pierre has announced that St. Lucia's general elections will be held on Monday, December 1, 2025. In his nationwide address on November 9, the Prime Minister also confirmed that nomination day is scheduled for Thursday, November 21, while Parliament will be dissolved on Monday, November 10, 2025. Also in regional news, Santa Marta, Colombia, the Pan American Health Organization and the European Commission's Health Emergency Authority have signed a 5-year agreement to strengthen cooperation on global health emergencies. The deal signed during the EU-CELAC summit aims to improve joint preparedness and response between Europe and the Americas, covering vaccines, diagnostics, and other essential medical tools. PAO's Dr. Jabas Barbosa said the COVID-19 pandemic proved the need for international collaboration, while EU Commissioner Haja Labib called the partnership a key step toward stronger global resilience. And that's all for regional news this evening. Stay tuned for international news coming up next. And now for international news this evening. Taiwan has evacuated more than 3,000 people and shut down schools and offices as Tropical Storm Fenghuang nears the island. The storm, which devastated the Philippines, has killed at least 25 people and displaced over 1.4 million. Fenghuang is expected to make landfall near Kaohsiung on Wednesday, bringing heavy rain and strong winds before moving northeast. Authorities across southern Taiwan and coastal China remain on high alert as the storm continues its path. Also in international news, US President Donald Trump has granted Hungary a 1-year exemption from American sanctions on Russian oil and gas. The move, confirmed by the White House, follows Prime Minister Viktor Orban's visit to Washington. Trump said Hungary faces unique challenges as a landlocked nation reliant on Russian energy. The decision marks a major win for Orban, a close Trump ally, but is drawing criticism across Europe, where many oppose Hungary's continued ties with Moscow amid the war in Ukraine. And that's all for international news this evening. Sports segment coming up next.
Double the draws, double the chances, double the excitement. Match 5, your local jackpot game.
And welcome to the sports segment. The Dominica Cricket Association announces that due to weather conditions over the weekend, matches were called off. Here is Ms. Kimara Ito with the announcement.
The Dominica Cricket Association announces, due to the prevailing weather conditions over the weekend, the scheduled matches in the 2025 Central Cooperative Credit Union Limited and Dominica Cricket Association Intermediate League for Saturday 8th November and Sunday 9th November were called off. The updated fixtures will be circulated in due course. We sincerely appreciate the understanding and cooperation of all teams, players, and supporters affected by these changes.
The Dominica senior men's national football team will take part in the inaugural CONCACAF Friendly Series in St. Kitts this week, their first time competing in the tournament. The series offers match opportunities for teams no longer in the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. Dominica is grouped with Belize, St. Martin, and host St. Kitts. Their first match is set for Wednesday, November 12, against St. Martin, followed by St. Martin on Saturday, November 15. 23 players have been selected, including 4 newcomers and 5 overseas-based athletes. The team is led by head coach Ellington Sabin and manager Kelvin Benjamin. The Dominica Football Association says the squad is ready to represent the island with pride. And now for netball news. School netball is back at Benjamin's Park. The sports division has announced that the 2025 Secondary Schools Netball Championship will serve off on Wednesday, November 12th, with an exciting opening round of league matches. 4 games are scheduled for opening day. Matches will be played at the Windsor Park Stadium forecourt and the newly constructed Benjamin's Park multi-purpose hardcourts. A total of 9 teams will compete in the under-16 division, while 6 teams will battle it out for the under-20 category. The under-14 division is set to tip off in January 2026. Here's a look at Wednesday's opening fixtures. At Windsor Park, CHS under-16 takes on PCSS under-16 at 2:30 p.m., followed by CHS under-20 versus DSC B under-20 at 3:30. Meanwhile, over at Benjamin's Park, PSSA under-16 will meet NECS B under-16 at 2:30, and at 3:30, PSSB under-16 faces NECSA under-16. It's shaping up to be a thrilling start to the 2025 school netball season. And excitement is rising ahead of the ECVA Under-23 Men's Volleyball Championship, set for November 12th to the 16th in Antigua. 6 teams, Dominica, Antigua and Barbuda, Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and the British Virgin Islands, will compete for the regional title in what promises to be a thrilling display of young Caribbean volleyball talent. Representing Team Dominica are Kazim Alexander, Miguel Fontaine, Jaden Robinson, Taj John Jules, Jamal Peltier, Larian Toulon, who captains the side Dante Augustin, Kieran Phillip, Dinari Dyer, and Sharon Vidal. The team is led by head coach Itoma James, with assistant coach David Toussaint providing support. Here's the full schedule for Team Dominica. Dominica versus Grenada, November 12, 6 p.m. Dominica versus Anguilla, November 13, 6 p.m. Dominica versus St. Vincent and the Grenadines, November 14, 9 a.m. Dominica versus Antigua and Barbuda, November 14, 8 p.m. And Dominica versus St. Lucia, November 15 at 4 p.m. Team Dominica is set for a challenging but exciting tournament as they aim to make their mark on the ECVA Under-23 Championship stage. Stay tuned for match results and updates as the championship unfolds. And that's all for sports this evening. Stay tuned for the weather report from the Dominica Meteorological Service.
Let me go now. Ready for the blow. Rich boy. Hey, yeah. Finish this.
And this brings us to the end of tonight's news broadcast for the 11th of November 2025. I'm your presenter, Rick Francis, and on behalf of the entire newscast, we say thank you for viewing. This has been Emo Nightly News, every moment online. Good night.